early doomer.
I'm not signing no prenup.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Let me see your prenup.
My last relationship, we broke up because he asked me to marry him, but then he asked me to sign a prenuptial agreement, and I said absolutely not. I think that's bogus. I'm not gonna sign a piece of paper that says that if you leave me, I get nothing. Like, no, I think that I should have half of everything that you've worked your entire life for, and I think that's fair.
This woman's intentions wasn't to actually get married and start a family. What she fails to understand is that a man has more to lose when it comes to marriage. One false move and his entire life could turn upside down. She felt obligated to whatever that man has worked his entire life for, as she contributed nothing. He dodged a bullet with this one. Let's take a look at the comments. A prenup isn't saying you get nothing. It just says you don't get half of something you had nothing to do with. No prenuptial agreement needed, fellas. Put everything in your mother's name. If you break up with someone because they mentioned a prenup, you never loved them. She just gave us the exact reason prenups are necessary.
Absolutely not. Okay, we're not doing that. We're not starting off our marriage with intentions of having a divorce. Our marriage will be rooted in Christ alone, and therefore, there's no such thing as divorce. That's not an option. We will work it out forever. We will give each other grace and love. He will love me like Christ loves the church, and I will submit to his authority and be the best helpmate that I can possibly be. Talk about a prenup. No. Never. Ever.
And what happens when her love runs out? She can just get up and leave and take half of everything that man owns. How do these women feel obligated to something they never contributed to? What they should be asking themselves is, where was I when this man was working to become the better version of himself? Was I there for him, cheering him on, telling him not to quit? Was I even there on his loneliest days when he needed somebody?
What a prenup is?
Yeah. I'm not signing no prenup, if that's what you about to ask me.
Damn, why not?
Cause no.
Why?
Please, wherever you at, do not sign that prenup. Nope.
Yeah, y'all ain't getting married then.
Not to you. We're not getting married to you. But we will another will not mind.
That prenup shit.
What if I'm
If you got the bread, you want to sign a
No,
prenup.
definitely. I want to leave with what I came in with. So it's just
So shouldn't the man
So
do the
why shouldn't the
same?
man leave with
I'm
it?
not saying that they shouldn't. I agree with y'all. We agree with all of it. I said don't sign the prenup. Man too. Like if I make more money, I don't want him to sign the prenup either.
Well, that's you in your relationship.
Listen, men lose way more.
Yo, she lying. Everybody, listen, she is lying.
She said she wanted to leave with what she came in with. Don't they think the man would like the same thing? This is why I say marriage isn't beneficial to men at all. And for all the men who are listening, get married at your own risk. Make sure you at least know the person to some degree. Even that sometimes still isn't enough. These next two clips displays two angry women who refuse to sign that prenup. Enjoy the show. I will no longer interrupt until the end.
Do you ever plan on cheating on me?
Absolutely not, no.
Do you ever plan on divorcing me?
No.
Okay, well, this right here doesn't matter. All this means is that if you go back on your word of what you just said to me, that's the only reason why this right here will take an effect.
Does this prenup have any silent party influence?
I don't know what you mean by that.
No idea what this woman is talking about, but if she is not signing that prenup, then she gotta go.
My man makes $25,000 to $30,000 a month, so I'm satisfied with that.
For real? What does he do?
He's a car sales manager. He's got bank.
God forbid, if you broke up now, would you date a man who makes $2,500?
Her lifestyle, she can't switch like that. If he had a really good heart and could take care of me and my daughter, but me and my man are not breaking up. So
How much you say your ring was?
my ring was $7,000. I can't have that around here. This is $200.
If he cheats on you,
I will take everything from him.
oh, what if he gave you a prenup?
I won't sign it. I'll rip it in front of him.
That man should most definitely get a prenup. This woman doesn't even appreciate a $7,000 ring from her man. She said she can't walk around with that like it's a bad thing. That ring is supposed to be a symbol of her commitment to her man. When she said that, the first thought that came to my mind was that this woman is married for the wrong reasons, and that man should get a prenup.
I could not resist, so I had to look it up. From the Office of National Statistics, from a 2019 study, in ever-increasing numbers, we are now at a lesbian divorce rate of 72%. So the top 4 reasons that they are reporting getting divorced is feeling ignored, inequality in the partnership, adultery, and domestic violence. Personally, I feel like this lends some weight to men's arguments and complaints about how women are behaving in relationships. Because when you have lesbian divorce statistics that look like that, the girls are kind of telling on themselves.
That is just amazing. Even if women date women, things are still looking bad for them. I wonder if it's really men's fault that 70% of women are getting divorced, or maybe they're just after the man's money. And this woman is correct. The girls are telling on themselves. How did they manage to have a 5% more higher divorce rate than men? Even men-to-men marriage divorce rates are only 16%. Now let's hear what they got to say.
I stitched this guy, but I couldn't do it without music, so here we go. I was 3 years old when I found out that 70% of divorces are initiated by women. Moreover, 90% of divorces are initiated by women when they are college educated. Why do you think that is? I have a theory. I don't know if I'm right. If there's an expert out there who has more knowledge, let me know, but this is my theory. 70% of divorces are initiated by women because men, instead of getting a divorce when they're unhappy in a relationship and losing the person who's cooking, cleaning, being emotionally available for them and all that stuff, they rather just go out and cheat and find what they're not finding in their spouse. Women, on the other hand, instead of going out and cheating and gaining another responsibility by cheating with another man, they rather just get rid of the current responsibility they have, which is their husband, who's not helping them, is not being there for them emotionally, and it's just heavy weight on them. I don't know if I'm right, but that's my theory as to why women initiate most of divorces. What do you think?
Boy math. Boy math is them wanting a prenup and they make $45,000.
That is so good. Imagine you go to your wife and I want a prenup, and she's like, for what, you broke bitch?
Real. What are you prenuping, your PS5?
That I bought you?
These guys may be laughing, but I do advise a man to work himself up and increase his income. I also don't think she would want half of your $45,000. But you never know. They don't even know what they want. A prenup is to protect you and your assets. If you are making $100,000 or more, you should definitely get a prenup.
Many of us are curious about the prenup.
Well, I know a lot of my followers think she may be a gold digger, but she's had a very successful OnlyFans career for years now. She's worth way more than I am. Plus, she has no interest in my desolate piece of desert. But she has been sleeping in this U-Haul with me for weeks now.
It's like camping.
I think she's a ride or die. And I don't think that married couples need a signed piece of paper to prove it, honestly.
True. Like, he could be my husband on or off paper just as much as I can be his wife on or off paper.
So we'll see what we decide, but
easy.
That is an interesting relationship. This guy is letting his emotions get in the way of seeing things clearly. And this woman has a loads of simps dumping money into her OnlyFans. What else can go wrong?
So if you haven't heard, Moroccan soccer player Hakimi is engaged in this vicious divorce battle with his soon-to-be ex-wife over assets to be distributed upon a divorce. The problem is Hakimi took all of his assets and put them in his mama's name.
Why was it a problem for Hakimi to take all of his assets that he's worked hard for, to put it under his mother's name? I find it strange she said that, but let's continue.
Now, the fact that he did that, that's a whole nother video. I'm going to give you tips on how to make sure you never end up in this situation. Step 1. Get a prenup. I've talked about this before. I'm going to talk about it again. And you might be thinking, I don't have enough assets for a prenup. A prenup will mandate both parties to disclose what assets they have, where they're located, and whose name they're in. If she would have done that, she would have known from the beginning he has nothing in his name.
I said it and I will say it again. Marriage is just another business. Most people nowadays only marry because of what the other person can do for them. They're not looking to grow and build together with you. And when things go left, they go left as well.
Step 2, I want you to have a provision in your prenup that requires you to get paid out for every year that you are sitting at home taking care of the family and taking care of the kids. And you might be thinking, oh, I don't need to do that. Shut up. Shut up. Society is going to pressure you into a lot of things. Your love for the family is going to pressure you into a lot of things. And you need a payout in the event that you sacrifice your entire career and sit at home. Because you're not going to be able to jump back into the freaking work market with a gap in your resume. Step 3, and this is something I'm personally going to have in my prenup. Have a payout clause for every child you bring into this world. And you might be thinking, oh, you're not doing a big job by bringing a child into this world. It's your duty. Shut up. Okay, shut up. The mental, physical, emotional toll that's going to take on your body, on who you are as a person, it's going to change you forever. And let's be completely honest, when you are divorced and you have to go back into the dating market, they're going to treat you as a single mother with children very differently than a rich man who's divorced and has kids. It's not going to impact him or his life. it's going to impact you. So make sure you're compensated for it.
Now we have this woman telling other women to get prenups because of what happened with the Hakimi situation. Is that because he's cracked the code for many married men? Is that because men found a way to protect their assets? Why is she angry at this man for protecting what's his?
You guys got married, would you have a prenup?
I haven't talked about that yet, but my sister is a lawyer, so she would suggest that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Wow, it's a good conversation for the ride back home.
Oh no.
He should have just said yes, especially if you have a lawyer as a sister. It's best to protect yourself now than later.